What's up, guys? It's your boy CJ. I have with me the greatness coach, or whatever he wants to call himself. Today, we're going to be talking about purpose. And what the slap is, I'm basically just going to give you a rundown. The slap is basically situations, life, answers to questions, and purpose. And today, we're going to be talking about purpose. So, what is purpose, really?
Well, purpose is one of those things that I believe it's important. I would agree with Mark Twain, when he said the two most important days of any man's life is the day that he is born and the day that he finds out why. Purpose is the answer to that question. Why? Why am I here? And I think one of the biggest struggles in life is when individuals go through life not knowing why they're here, not knowing their purpose. And, I think that's one of the biggest problems, both young and old, that we see today is people trying to figure out what is my purpose.
So, how do you discover your why? Like, how do you navigate that?
Hey, it's so many different strategies and techniques to it, and so many different ways that it can be discovered. However, I do think that it's discovered. Sometimes people who are close to you, people you come in contact with, people that you help, they'll kind of tell you like what's resonant in you. Like if you ask people around you, like, how do you feel in my presence? Like, what about me makes you come around me? People start telling you, well, you motivate me, you make me feel, like I can go, do A, B, or C, or I feel love when I'm around you. I feel, so sometimes people can confirm, what's inside you. I know you being young, I know that's been something, that you've had to balance. Like
Sure.
the whole idea of everybody's trying to figure out at your age what I'm gonna do. What do you think? How do you have you start walking into, like what your purpose is?
Really and truthfully, I'm still kind of navigating it, but at the same time, I know what my purpose is as far as in ministry. Like, I love to speak, and that's another thing. I think purpose, you should love doing it.
Yeah.
Basically. But yeah, I love to speak. I just now recently started getting into books. So like everybody's on me, they're like, "Since when did you become a book geek or something?" And I was like, I don't know. I just started like to read books. So I like to read books. I like to speak. I still like to play sports, all that. But really and truthfully, just walking in your purpose, it takes a lot, but at the same time, it takes a certain level of focus to where you have to drown out some people, drown out some thoughts, and really and truthfully, just get into your purpose, get into what you like doing.
Sometimes, like you said, it takes some focus, and discovery is something that's so crucial. You'd be surprised, even at your age, where you're just saying that you're just still discovering. You'd be surprised the amount of people late in life, like 30, 40, 50. I mean, there's no cap. You'd be surprised the amount of people.
Right. Hey guys, I did not solicit him saying no cap, so don't put that on me.
It's a little bit of context. I didn't mean to say it. I didn't mean to say it. It was what I was saying was there's really no age limit to when people are trying to discover purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen people who are married and have everything. They have the person they wanted to marry. They have the car they wanted, have the house they wanted, but something was still missing.
Yeah.
Right. So young or old, people are searching, trying to figure out why am I here? And I think that's something that until people really start tapping into, like wholeheartedly, like you said, you have to love it. I believe passion is tied to purpose. So until people really start like going on a real journey to say, exactly why I'm here, you'll always have those questions in life. You'll always be going through those seasons and those stages of saying, hey, I mean, what am I supposed to be doing with what I have? Yeah. And I think, and you tell me, I think generationally, like you guys, your generation, what you're faced with, there's so many different, mindsets and paths and paradigms. What is it about your path that keeps you grounded? Like, what do you use as a focus point for you?
It's hard to it's hard to really pinpoint it, but I use a lot of factors. First, I use my faith in God, always. But secondly, I just use, really and truthfully, I wake up, I'm just thinking sometimes I just want to be lazy. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I want to be lazy, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, if I wake up and do nothing, I'll just be like, I just wasted a day. So really and truthfully, it's just waking up, realizing that you have to do something. Like you can't just sit around and do nothing. Like you'll just feel unfulfilled, lazy. And I think that's the main problem with our generation. It's just like we're okay with being lazy. We're okay with being unfulfilled. And that's what leads many people into states of depression, states of sadness and all that because they just okay with doing nothing. So what I do, I just wake up, I pray, read a book or something, and then I just get my day started. Like I just like I naturally gravitate towards my purpose, which is
That's good.
yeah.
David, the Bible says David ministered in his generation, which means that he found significance, he found purpose in his generation. Jesus was tied to purpose. He says, I've come to seek and save that which was lost, right? He understood what his purpose was. And I think, when we wake up every day saying like, there's a imprint I'm supposed to make on the world. There's an impact I'm supposed to make on people. I think that guides, our everyday actions. I always try to, before I go to bed at night, that's why sometimes I go to bed so late because I'm trying to think, like, did I get accomplished today something that's going to get me closer to my purpose, to doing what I know I'm called to do? Did I get better today? Right. So I tell you, one of the things that I see in you that I also saw in myself at your age was this leadership quality, and sometimes it's hard being the leader. It's hard being the one and all the time the eyes are on you, I'll tell you how I balanced it. But like when people count on you or when people know that you're supposed to be the leader, you're a pastor's son, you're a team captain on your team, you lead FCA groups, you're doing all of these, YouTube videos and 2-Minute Tuesdays. How do you balance that and then knowing that, hey, there's still a human element to me. I still have flaws. I'm still human. I still make mistakes. But then at the same time, people expect you to do the right things all the time. How do you balance that?
Well, at first it's a hard journey because at first I didn't want to balance it. I think there's a certain disconnect to where you want to balance it, but at the same time, it's just like, oh, there's too much pressure on me. I don't really want to do this. But really and truthfully, I just like doing it. Like at the end of the day, I was like, the pressure's not going to go away, no matter if I want it to or not. Pressure's not going to go away. So I just really and truthfully just grew into it. And I just like doing it. And I started to get away from it, actually. If anybody recalls, I took like a 9-month break. It's probably the worst 9 months of my life, to be honest. But yeah, once I got back into it, I started to love it again, and here I am. Once you decided that, once you found out that your purpose is what's keeping you going, that's when life starts to get fun. So I mean,
that's I know for me, when I was your age, looking back at it, my dad was a pastor. Thinking about, I'm a leader on the football team. Mm-hmm. Not only the football team, I was on the weightlifting team. I did track. Something like yourself, you're multiple sports. I was adored and loved in my school. Not, no bragging or anything.
No, he bragging.
I'm just saying, so that I look at those things and I'm kind of like, okay, I can run from it or I can embrace it. And like you said, I think it was when I started embracing it and saying, hey, look, there's a lot of people who are not fortunate enough to have these kind of things placed on their shoulders. I just was. And so I think anytime you really start understanding that you are connected, there's a bigger picture for you, like you have a deeper call, a deeper purpose in life, you just got to start embracing it and saying, okay, how am I going to use it? right?
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask to have, you know, what I had, and I didn't ask for it. I walked into it. So obviously God is entrusting me with it, you know. So I think for me, I think it was me just embracing it and not fighting it, you know, and not arguing with God anymore, just saying, hey, look, you got me. And
Mhm.
so now I embrace it and I use it, you know. Is that one of the things that now you're saying, you know, hey, I'm embracing whatever it is God has for me, and then now the challenge now is just figuring out what do you want me to do with what you gave me.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things because with speaking, of course I like to preach and all that, but with speaking, I'm kind of navigating between which I want to do. Like I like to do spoken word. I like to preach. I like to deliver a message. So really and truthfully, it's just deciding. I mean, I don't really have to decide either. I mean, I can do all those things. So, um, but I got a question for you actually. So
All right.
I like I like the fact that you said that, but how do you deal? I know a lot of people watching gonna probably talk about this too, but how do you deal with? We were talking about this the other day actually. How do you deal with like subtle purpose blockers? Like we were talking about the other day, subtle racism and all that. But how do you
Yeah.
deal with subtle purpose blockers?
Well, you know, I think it's about awareness, right? Knowing that it's there. Like the enemy puts things in your path, whether they are blatant or whether they're subtle, hidden, systematically, structurally. It's all distractions,
Yeah.
detours, you know, designed to keep you from getting to your ultimate purpose, right? So for me, I think the way I deal with it, and I've always been this way, I'm so strategic in everything that I do. It's like I'm building in alternative routes,
Yeah.
right? So like if this doesn't work, then I'm doing this. Like if you take this away, then we're gonna do this. And I've always been up to the challenge. You know, case in point, when we started our church, Zion Christian Ministries, I had a lot of people telling me it's not gonna work. Don't do it. You can't start a church here in Murfreesboro. It's not gonna work. You'd be better off just joining another church. Like that was a challenge for me. So if I'm already built in with a challenge, I'm going to try this a different way.
Yeah.
And then whatever roadblock we hit, I bring another solution. Like I'm solution oriented. Like I don't take no for an answer. You probably know that about me by now. You know. So you when you tell me I can't do a thing, like I'll devote the next 3 months showing you that with God's help, we're going to do it.
See, that's when you use no cap. No cap. Okay.
Oh, that's no cap right
Yeah,
there.
that's when you use it. That's when you use it.
All
guys.
right, no cap, no cap.
All right. Never mind. Don't throw that in. Don't throw that in.
Yeah. So yeah, man. That's how I go at it. That's my mindset. You know. I'm always curious to know. You know, like for you growing up the way you've grown up, I've always been curious to know, like how do you take lessons that you've learned in the season of your life with sports and apply them to life?
That's interesting. I would say one of the main lessons I've learned from sports is there's always until you die, there's always a next play. Until you die. So, for example, let's say I give up a touchdown or something, and it's in like the first quarter. I could hang my head and I let it affect the rest of my game. But if I know there's still a game to be played, unless I'm injured or something, there's always a next play. So sports has really helped me with that, even with basketball. Like I could have a game where I scored like 3 points, 1 for 10 shooting, 17 turnovers. Well, I've never had 17 turnovers, so don't play me. Don't play me. But I've never had 17 turnovers. But, I mean, it's really and truthfully just next play, next game. I mean, that's the main lesson that I've learned from sports in general. So.
I mean, it's been, you know, the bulk of my life other than ministry, the bulk of my life has been sports.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's going to be the case for you as well, you know. But I think there's a point where it gets to where you understand that, you know, when I'm learning a lesson of hard work in sports, it literally is going to translate to hard work in life. When I'm learning how to finish through the line sports. I'm literally learning how to finish through the line in my life, you
Yeah.
know. So I think applying those principles to everyday life is what has been the joy for me. And then having the opportunity to minister for the past really 19 years has helped me to say, okay, well, there's more that I can apply these principles to than just ministry. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we talked about this. You're going to be a third generation preacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about this all the time. My father, you know, when he gets to the end of his ministry, he's not wanting to really be in ministry like that anymore.
Yeah.
But he didn't do any. He didn't leverage his life with any other skills. He didn't do anything else. So one of my life's journeys has been, as I've been kind of pouring into you guys since you've been born, is finding that what else and what next, right?
Yeah.
Football is going to be over for all of us at one point. So I think finding something else to impact the world with has been my biggest journey. And, you know, even late in my ministry, I'm figuring out, okay, that's where the greatness coach came from. It's like, okay, I got something else. So how do I just move forward using both of them?
Yeah.
You know, now assuming not only ministry, right? What do you think are some other areas in your life outside of ministry that you maybe one day can see yourself taking up and impacting the world with?
I know I want to become an author one day, so I definitely want to write a book. Also, I think I want to start different projects just with cinematography or something like that, something of the sort, something just to get my mind out there, but at the same time, you know, gather experiences with other people. But I also have a question for you. So I know because me and somebody else from my school were having a conversation about this the other day too. So how do you make your purpose not be so mundane, not be so boring? Like sometimes you can feel as if when you're walking in purpose, it's kind of a boring task. Like you getting to do the same stuff every day. So how do you walk in purpose without it being boring?
Yeah, man, it's about packaging, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like it's one thing for me to be walking in purpose, but you know, the content of what I'm doing doesn't have to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like if my purpose, for example, my purpose is to push people to walk in purpose and to push people to achieve greatness. Like that's my purpose. Now I do that in several different ways. That comes packaged in several different ways. Mm-hmm. Like I might be pushing marriages in my marriage coaching. I might be pushing singles people in my singles coaching. Like I might be pushing people for their ultimate purpose, and that's Jesus Christ. So you can catch me on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for that. I might be pushing you to study the Bible, right? To unlock some things to live. You can catch me on Wednesday night at 6:30. So I think it's about packaging, right? Like each season when you're giving your purpose to the world, you can package it differently.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the way people receive it is how you package it.
Right.
The biggest problem many people have is they've not packaged it, right? Packaging is important, right? When you order something from Apple, right? One of the things that Apple has really nailed is packaging.
Yeah.
Like when it comes, you know this is not cheap. This is an Apple product. You know, like you sit it on the shelf and put whatever is in the box, you put it on top of the box and just look at it.
Yeah, we keep the box too. Man.
you keep the box because the packaging is so cool.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about how you package your purpose, which keeps it exciting and keeps it fun, and then it adds value to the people who receive it.
Oh, he preaching, y'all.
No,
he pastors, by the way.
No,
he's a pastor, y'all.
I'm not. Listen, if this podcast is bringing value to anyone, listen, here's what I need you to do. Subscribe to the channel right now. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share it with someone. Like it. Because this is the slap, man. We're talking about situations. We're talking about life. We're answering tough questions, but then we're also pushing people toward purpose. And listen, if this is of value to you, man, come on, subscribe right now. So CJ, how can people get connected with you?
You can hit me up on my Snapchat. Well, don't really hit me up on there because I don't answer it. But anyways, you can get my email at cajjr24@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at I am CJ Johnson. You can also hit me up on Facebook, CJ Johnson. I'll give you my Snapchat, but I guarantee you I probably won't answer you. But it's CAJJR. But yeah, that's about it.
And you can catch both of us at www.cajohnson.org.
Yo.
You go up to the top of the page, click on the link that says C Junior, and I think that's where, or CJR, I think that's where,
Yeah.
that's where you are. And man, all of your content is there.
Mm-hmm.
Your YouTube channels and all of the information is there. And I've got some things up there going on too. So listen, I just want to encourage all of you, follow, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. This has been our first episode of The Slap. And like, you know, hey, CJ, I think this is, I think we got the ball rolling pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So listen, everybody, until we have an opportunity to meet and see you again, subscribe to the channel. And we can't wait to get to episode 2 of The Slap. God bless you.